Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first ever AWE pay-per-view event. Welcome to Odyssey. Now our first match this evening is D4 versus Chris Davidson. One of these competitors must get back on track. Now D4 wasn't happy with how things played out last week in our main event. Now let's take you back and recap. Now, Chris Davidson was not hesitant to voice his opinion about D4 being thrust into opportunistic positions week after week. And Chris Davidson actually lost his first ever match last week on Next Level. But he says D4 will not have that same luck that Simba the Great had. Let's take a look. Time again. Opportunity has called my name. And time again, I've failed. I was the last one in the ring with Henry Mack. And I lost. And I was in the triple threat for #1 contendership. And I lost. And the hardest pill in life to have to swallow is knowing that you've done your best and that you're worthy and that you're deserving, and yet you fail.
D4's had opportunity after opportunity at the AWE Championship, and he's pissed them all away, and I'm sick and tired of it. I've only had one shot at getting here in the AWE, and that was against Simba the Great. And you know what? He may have got lucky and beat me, but D4 won't get that lucky. Because at Odyssey, I'm going to put him down like the old wounded animal that he is, and he will learn once and for all that I'm the chosen one here in AWE, and the chosen one, Chris Davidson, will climb to the top. He will be my stepping stone. He will be my footnote to the top. And he's going to learn that at Odyssey because I am the chosen one.
I am not a wounded animal. I'm at the top of my game, and I'm the best performer in action wrestling entertainment. So Chris Davidson, if you think for 1 second that I'm going to be your stepping stone that you use to reach my level, then you have another thing coming. Because at AWE Odyssey, I will squash you. And any dreams that you have of reaching the level of stardom that I'm at, they'll be squashed right with you. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here. We are AWE. We are one of a kind. And we are about to get underway with the first pay-per-view in AWE history. Welcome to Odyssey.
Well, the stars align.
And coming out first, we've got Chris Davidson. Made his AWE TV debut last week against Simba the Great. He did not win. But he promises to put D4 down like an old, wounded animal. We'll see if he can live up to that promise today. Now we know D4 is one of the best competitors in AWE. But as Chris Davidson said, every time he gets the big opportunity, the chance to make his mark, he fails. And here's D4 sporting new digs. If you like the merch, contact us for more information. Now this is a big match for D4 and for Chris Davidson. Chris Davidson trying to pick up his first win in AWE over some stiff competition. And D4 looking to get back on track after losing two huge matches. The championship match, the inaugural Fatal 4-Way Elimination match, and losing last week's #1 contenders triple threat to King Neon. Chris Davidson's got him backed up, pushes him, and D4 hits a front flip, lands it outside the ring.
2, 3.
He said, I've been in the gym, and I've been training for this day, for the first pay-per-view. He said, I've got something up my sleeve for Chris Davidson if he thinks he's gonna put me down that easily. Nice clothesline there. Kip up though from Chris Davidson. Must not have been too much of a clothesline. And here's D4 pile driver. A modified pile driver. We've never seen that from D4. Nice drop kick there after avoiding. D4's got all the momentum on his side right now as he hits Chris Davidson right on top of the dome. Pushes him away. This time Chris Davidson scouted the clothesline, but D4 rolls out. A little bit of showmanship as he lands in a superhero position, one might call it.
4.
Now D4 believes he is the best competitor in AWE, and he's looking to prove it here today as he hits a neck breaker on Chris Davidson. That's going to leave its mark. Now, over the course of the past 2 weeks, we've seen D4 put on great shows and come up short when it mattered most. And he's looking to get back on track here against Chris Davidson. And last week we saw Chris Davidson, he and Simba the Great almost won match of the week, but he came up short. So it's both of these men are looking to get back on track. D4 avoids the knee, gives him one of his own. And later on tonight, we do have a championship match between King Neon, knee smash to the face from D4, and Henry Mack. Henry Mack and King Neon. Henry Mack's first time ever defending his AWE World Championship, and there's a kick from D4 cover.
1, 2.
A little bit of a slow count there from the ref. D4 is very angry. Knows it should have been 3. Chris Davidson trying to assault the legs of D4, trying to make sure that he doesn't do any of his little flippy flips that he likes to do. And D4 wisely gets to the ropes as quick as he can. Another lockup here from D4 and Chris Davidson. Looks like Chris Davidson is getting all the momentum right now. Stomping a mud hole in D4.
Wounded animal right here.
Said he's a wounded animal. And he's going to town. But D4 slides under. There's a drop kick. We know D4 loves those drop kicks. And it looks like he's trying to injure the arm of Chris Davidson. Goes for the cover.
2.
Ref a little bit faster this time. Now remember, wins and losses do matter. Backstabber from D4. They do matter in AWE. D4 right now, his one-on-one, his singles record sitting at 1-0. He's only competed in one singles match, this being his second. And that will come into play later on here in AWE as Chris Davidson sits at 0-1. Another drop kick from D4. Kip up from Chris Davidson. And there's a kick right to the midsection. And he whiffed the enziguri, and D4 makes him pay with a knee to the side of the face. And both of these men are two of the best here in AWE. Nice takedown.
You can't do what I do.
D4 says, you cannot do what I do. And here is a, looks like a suplex from Chris Davidson. D4 might have been going for a bulldog. But a nice counter from Chris Davidson. He may have only competed in one match here in AWE as opposed to D4's 3 matches that he has competed in. But he has been honing his craft, waiting for his opportunity. Senton from Chris Davidson. Goes for the cover. 1, 2. D4 with a kick out. Chris Davidson's been honing his craft every day for the past week and a half. Nice scissor kick from D4. Caught him right on the side of the face. And D4 knows that wins and losses in singles competition are important here in AWE. He said that King Neon got lucky to even be inside the triple threat match for #1 contendership, given that he did not win his first one-on-one singles match. And D4 blames the absence of Lunatank from Next Level. He blames that for King Neon getting his title opportunity. D4's in the ropes, but Chris Davidson wisely pulls him back. Oh my goodness! Right in the teeth. D4 trying to roll him over, go for some kind of big move. What's he going for? Gut wrench. Little bit too much weight. D4 might have hurt his back a little bit, but there's a straight right from Chris Davidson. And there's a kick to the back of the head from Chris Davidson. And now the momentum is back in his corner. And here's a gut wrench and a power bomb from Chris Davidson, saying that's how it's done, D4. Chris Davidson possesses unique strength and power for a man of his stature. And D4 is as athletic as they come.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Fast count here from the referee. Both men just deciding to get back in the ring before they get counted out. Overhead strike from D4. Here's a German. I believe he put him right on the back of his neck. You can see both men very sweaty. There's a Uranagi from D4. Very sweaty as this match is taking so much out of these men. D4 drop kick to the ribs, trying to make sure. 1, 2, and a kick out from Chris Davidson, trying to make sure that Chris Davidson's core is weakened and it will limit his strength advantage. D4 looks like he's going for a guillotine. But Chris Davidson may have been trying to evade as he rolled through, but it doesn't matter because D4's got it cinched in. But Chris Davidson, there's the strength we're talking about. And it looks like he may have just been planted with a DDT inadvertently as he hit the spine buster on D4. Both men are down. I guess that's one way to get out of the guillotine. Kick to the midsection from Chris Davidson. And here it is, a snap suplex. You can hear the pain in D4's voice.
Come on.
Saying, come on. He wants more. Straight right from Chris Davidson. Drops D4, and there's the assault back on the legs. He doesn't want that man getting too high in the air. But D4 counters. Reverse Meteora. We're going to commercial break. Do you like merch? We love merch. And we've got merch. We've got the D4 Strike with Precision merch 1.0. The King Neon Feel the Glow 1.0 merch. We have the Bulletproof Nick Alexander merch 1.0. We have the Indestructible Force Luna Tank merch 1.0. Contact information is in the description. All shirts, $20. Your favorite superstar. We got it. We like merch. You want merch. We sell merch. You wear merch. Merch. Buy merch. No, but seriously though, like support us, buy merch. Contact information in the description. Like, buy the freaking merch. Ladies and gentlemen, we return to Odyssey as Chris Davidson has D4 in the side headlock, but D4 fights out. And there's a nice back suplex from D4. Both of these men have been put through hell tonight.
2.
And if you like this match, you're going to want to stick around for a little bit more. There's a spear from D4. Chris Davidson may have lessened the impact by staying as far away from him as possible. And D4 realizes that, and he knows that's not going to be enough. So what's he going for? There's a frog splash. Got all of it right there. Goes for the cover. But a kick out from the resilient Chris Davidson. And he just planted D4 on his face. I believe Chris Davidson calls that one the fadeaway. But there's a nice... Well, there's a nice kick to the gut by D4. What's he going for? Chris Davidson tried to fight out, but it's not going to work. Ushigoroshi! On the back of his neck and goes for the V-trigger. D4 misses, and he gets swept. But there's a kip up. D4 still got some fight left in him. Goes for the clothesline, he ducks it, and there's a snapdragon on the back of the neck. What's he? Super kick right on the chin.
1.
D4's motto is strike with precision, and that's what he's doing against Chris Davidson.
2.
And it looks like he's measuring him up. He's going for that. There it is. The diving clothesline that we saw in the first episode of AWE Next Level when he picked up his win. Ducks the clothesline against King Neon. Caught him right on the chin with that bicycle kick. And he throws him in. D4 could be going for some offensive right here. And there's a clothesline. How did he catch him? Chris Davidson timed that perfectly. D4 had no chance to avoid. And Chris Davidson plants D4 with a clothesline. And he goes for another one, but D4 ducks it. And D4 goes... There it is, another fadeaway. And D4 wisely getting out of there, using all of his strength.
2.
And the ref said a count of 2, and D4 looks like he hasn't even woke up yet. And Chris Davidson just exerted all of his energy, hitting that finishing maneuver on D4.
6.
And the ref said a count of 6, and D4 is starting to stir. And Chris Davidson might want to be prepared for when the precisionist D4 gets back in the ring. And he's in. Barely made it in after a count of 9. And goes for the leg sweep. And there's a punch to the chest. And he goes for the leg sweep. And it's jumped over. And there's a kill shot from D4. If he can make this cover, this might be over. 1 and 2 and 3. We have our winner. D4 off the kill shot. That may be this man's deadliest move in his arsenal. And he needed this win. And he got it. And Chris Davidson came so close, managing to plant D4, as you see there. But D4 walks away. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you look back, this really was the turning point in the match, where it looked as though Chris Davidson might have had D4's number. But in the end, it was the kill shot by D4 that put the nail in the coffin for Chris Davidson. And next up, an angry Nick Alexander has a few words to share with the locker room of AWE. Let's get into it.
Okay. Well, ever since I've debuted here in this company, I haven't had the greatest of luck when it comes to championship opportunities. First off, I debuted against the White Free Holy Gabriel Valdez. Hit him with this, haven't seen him since. Then, had that triple threat match. Of course, we beat down Lunatank, threw him out. Then all of a sudden, I had Henry Mack put down to where he would not be the AWE champion. Then what happens? Oh, here comes D4, backbreaker. Then I'm out of the match. And then he loses, and now we have Henry Mack as champion. Then fast forward to next level, where I have another opportunity, and I fail that one. You see, I did not come here to be a failure. I came here to succeed. I came here to make a name for myself, and also to inflict as much pain as I can on my opponents, no matter who they are. And since I don't have a match here at Odyssey, which I kind of believe it's a little stupid, I'm laying out a challenge. Next level. Whoever dares step foot to me, you best bring your A game. Because if you do not, I will have to put you out of your misery.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. Anyone who has the cojones to step to the bulletproof Nick Alexander better bring their A game. Now next up we have the championship match between Henry Mack and King Neon.
The aurora borealis shines on the darkness. Some people think it's a myth. Some people don't believe in it, just like they didn't believe in me. I am the light that was shining in the darkness. That is AWE. D4 didn't believe in me. He beat me once, but you saw what happened to Triple Threat. Nick Alexander, the bulletproof. Well, let's just say there's no more darkness in there. Well, at Odyssey, D-Mac, you will get this light put on you. You will feel the glow.
I could have went anywhere to win championships. ROH, New Japan, I mean, probably WWE. But I came here to win championships. I won this first ever champ. But this championship means nothing to me. I ran through almost every person on this roster. Now, let me give you a few names. Alright, first, I'm gonna go with Manny. First match. Check. 1, 2, 3. Beat. Lunatank. Now with him, beat him. 15 seconds. Next person, I didn't really pin, but I mean, I'll take credit for that.
Yeah! 1, 2, 3, let's go! Hey, you got D4? Is that you?
D4. Beat him. Championship. But there's one person that I haven't beat, and it's really working me. Now, at Odyssey, King Neon, you're next. I'm going to hurt you. You're going to have to find somewhere else. I'll run this. No. King Neon. Feel the glow? You're gonna feel the pain.
Mother, tell your children not to walk my way. Tell your children not to hear my words, what they mean, what they say. Mother, Mother, can you keep them in the dark for a while? Can you hide them from the wedding world? Oh, Mother, Father, gonna take your daughter out tonight. Gonna show her my world. Oh, Father, Lord, I'm bound to see your light. And if you wanna find hell with me, I can
Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, it's a big fight feel here in Action Wrestling Entertainment as the AWE World Championship will be defended for the first time in history tonight. Now introducing first, we have the challenger. This man was put out in the first round of the inaugural tournament, given he had to face some stiff competition in D4.
New AWE champ.
Now in the end, the lesson learned here is resiliency and determination pays off in the end. He did go on to win the triple threat #1 contendership match last week on Next Level. So ladies and gentlemen, if you don't give up on your dreams, you can achieve them. And introducing last, second, whatever you want to call it. He is the first ever AWE World Champion. It is Henry Mack. Now, in case you all missed it, on the first episode of AWE Next Level, the inaugural tournament, he beat Manny El Nino to advance to the final, where Lunatank was eliminated. Nick Alexander was eliminated. And finally, D4 was eliminated, leaving this man to be crowned AWE World Champion. And he proudly holds that championship. And as these two lock up, you know this is going to be one hell of a match. Because King Neon is not the type of competitor to go away quietly. But Henry Mack, as you've seen, Henry Mack is one of the most dominant presences in AWE. These two behemoths are battling it out to see who will come out on top. There's a face buster to see who will come out on top and be AWE World Champion after the first pay-per-view. Now, what a wave of excitement which would occur if King Neon pins or submits Henry Mack here tonight on Odyssey. Now, as you all know, Henry Mack has the supreme confidence, whereas King Neon is just coming into his own as a superstar here in Action Wrestling Entertainment. Henry Mack is a veteran, he's a seasoned pro, and that's why he's the first ever AWE World Champion. And there's a nice shoulder block from Henry Mack. As you see the audience looking on, there's a senton right on the legs of King Neon.
2.
And there's a cover, and he gets a 2 count, but a lackadaisical pin from Henry Mack allows King Neon to escape. Now, a lot of people may think that King Neon had no right to be in the triple threat for #1 contendership last week, given how he lost in the inaugural episode. But his determination is a testament to the heart and will and soul that is within every one of us. King Neon claims he is the light rolling senton there, the light that will shine on the darkness here in AWE as he goes for the cover.
2.
Gets a 2 count, and there's a kick out from the champ. Now, we saw a real barn burner earlier from D4 and Chris Davidson, but this match carries the most weight of any match ever in AWE. Because no longer is it a fatal 4-way elimination to crown a champion. It is a fighting, reigning, defending champion trying to retain against a hungry challenger, and that challenger being King Neon. This man has persevered and overcame obstacles ever since he stepped foot here in AWE. And Henry Mack hasn't had to deal with that kind of adversity. And I think that may put him at a disadvantage, but there's a pedigree from Henry Mack. He's not the game, but he sure is trying to play it. As he gets a 2 count and there's a kick out. There is a lot of weight in this ring. I would not be surprised one bit if this ring came crashing down before the night is over. But either way it goes here in AWE, we're going to have a victor and we're going to have a loser in this contest.
Get up. Get up.
King Neon saying get up. He wants to inflict more damage on Henry Mack. And Henry Mack being the AWE champion, we haven't seen too much offense from him in this matchup thus far. King Neon has been pretty cool, pretty calm, and pretty collected. The 3 C's, baby. Not the 7. And there's a nice suplex. Can King Neon get into a pinning predicament? It doesn't look as though he will. Now, ladies and gentlemen, there's a super kick. Don't forget to cast your votes in the comment section for match of the week.
1, 2.
And there's a 2 count kick out. So far, the matches of the week have been in order. For AWE Next Level, episode number 1, it was King Neon versus D4.
Do you submit?
No.
In that shootout of offensive arsenals, where we saw D4.
He's in the
There's rope
ropes.
break.
1,
As we saw
2,
D4 come out on
3,
top in that
4.
contest. And last week on AWE Next Level, episode number 2, match of the week was determined, and it was the triple threat for number 1 contendership. It was a close race. And don't forget, at the end of the year, we will have Performer of the Year. And the number of matches of the week will determine Performer of the Year. So don't forget to cast your votes. And this AWE Championship match is taking so much out of... There's a frog splash! Taking a page out of D4's playbook here. That's a move that D4 used to beat King Neon. He used to wear him down. And there's a drop kick, another staple of D4's offensive attack. And it looks as though King Neon is learning as he goes here in AWE, trying to find his identity, see what works, see what doesn't. If somebody beats him, take the good things that they used. And there's a leaping clothesline, another move, which he was on the receiving end of last time we saw it here in AWE. King Neon will go to any length to win the AWE Championship here tonight on Odyssey. And there's a head smash into the side of the ring. And you have to imagine that Henry Mack will have to go on the offensive at some point in this matchup if he wants to retain. And there's a fist to the back of the head. If he wants to successfully retain his championship, the championship of this company, then he's going to have to do more than what he's done thus far. And there it is. Now maybe he's been playing a little possum letting King Neon burn his energy and saving his for when the matchup gets tight. And there's a quick combination of strikes from Henry Mack, your AWE World Champion for the moment. And do keep in mind that in AWE there is no automatic rematch clause. So if you lose the championship, stunner from Henry Mack. My goodness. And there's a cover.
2.
And a 2 count. 2.9.
1, 2.
He woke up at 2:59 today.
1, 2.
And 2 more 2 count kickouts from King Neon. In AWE, there is no automatic rematch clause. That means if you are to lose the championship or not gain control of it, you are not guaranteed a rematch. You have to work your way back up the ladder and start all over. Now, no matter what happens here in AWE, Henry Mack will always be remembered as the first AWE World Champion. But as we all know, it's not about who was the first, it's about who did it the best. And both of these men want to be that superstar. Oh my God, he just matrixed the clothesline. And he ducks under, and he ducks under again. And Henry Mack is coming back. Bars for days. Follow me on SoundCloud. And what's King Neon going for here? There's a DDT. He has such an arsenal of moves from that grappling position. You can see the wear and tear and the fatigue that is in both of these superstars due to the sheer length of this match and the weight that each of them is moving. There has to be over 600 pounds in that ring when they're both in there. And King Neon trying to measure him up, maybe going for another clothesline, but he's not. Some sort of modified diving something from King Neon. Ask him. I don't name the moves. Well, I mean, sometimes I do. I don't know. And he's picking Henry Mack up off the ground. He knows that with champion's advantage, he can't win on the outside. He has to get him back in the ring. There's no way he can hope to Neon Bomb. And he does! A modified Neon Bomb on Henry Mack. But I guess he doesn't have confidence that that will do the job against the AWE World Champion. Usually we'd see a cover from King Neon after hitting the Neon Bomb. But it looks like he's picking him up. And he's going for something else. Could be the Aurora Borealis. Or maybe that patented swinging neck breaker. He has so many choices from that position. And I don't think King Neon should have turned his back to Henry Mack. Oh my gosh, he pushed him off. What's he going for? There's a spear! A big spear from King Neon! And he could do it right here if he gets the 3 count. He could become the new AWE World Champion. And he does. He does. He got the 3 count. Oh my. There is no way in hell. We have never seen the stunner from Henry Mack be reversed until now. And we have a brand new AWE World Champion. King Neon reigns supreme over the roster here in AWE. Now this leaves a lot to be questioned. Who is at the top of the food chain now? We've seen King Neon lose to certain superstars in the past. And if you take a look back, this really was the point in the match when I honestly thought Henry Mack is going to successfully retain his title. In the end, it came down to being able to step outside your comfort zone and do things you've never done before, and that's what helped lead King Neon to victory in this bout. I mean, you see him hit this leaping clothesline outside the ring. We've never seen a man of his stature, of his size and build, do these things. And yet he wanted it that bad. And let's get one last look at this spear by King Neon. Absolutely drilled Henry Mack into the mat, and it's no surprise that he could not kick out by 3. What a match put on by these two, and congratulations to King Neon, the new AWE World Champion.